celebrating the Relish tray. Well, hi there, food friends.
It's Kevin.
And I'm Ralph behind the camera.
And yes, Ralph, today we are celebrating the Relish tray. And
wait, don't those take you back?
They do. And you know what? People, those of us, and we have a lot of food friends sort of in our generations that remember the Relish tray. And I am on a crusade to bring it back.
Do they even still make relish trays?
They probably do. I haven't been in the market for a relish tray for a long time because there are millions of them out there in the flea markets and garage sales and estate sales and rummage sales, and I'm sure online by the billions, because they made a lot of them, particularly from say the 1930s up and through the 1970s, when relish trays were really at their apex.
Is that where you acquired yours, or did you inherit some?
I think all of these were finds over the years, and so I never met a relish tray I didn't like. And what's not to like? But let's, as you kind of give our friends a glimpse of some of these, Ralph, and when we think of the word, let's start with the word relish. Now, we think of relish immediately, at least I do, as a condiment, something we like to put on hot dogs, right? Chopped up pickle relish, right? I mean, chopped up pickles, maybe with pimentos and maybe sweet or whatever, and we put it on a hot dog, and we think that's relish, and it is relish, but the relish tray was not a vessel to put hot dog relish in.
It wasn't specific to that type of relish. It was
not.
General relishes.
A relish was considered something that, you know, was either a condiment or an accoutrement.
Or a side almost.
Yes, to something. And then when refrigeration became popular and more pronounced in kitchens, like in the 1930s, that's when we really had the idea of the relish tray. Think of it as an appetizer, okay? That a relish was something to stimulate the appetite, and you served it before dinner. So everyone would sit down at the table, and you would bring out the relish tray and maybe some bread, and people would enjoy that before the main course would come out, just to get the appetite going, or to sort of curb that real hunger, because there was a time, believe it or not, we just didn't eat all the time like we do now. You know, we have breakfast, and then we have a snack, and then we have lunch, and then we have a snack, and maybe another snack, and then we have dinner, and then in the evening we have. People really ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or supper, and they didn't eat necessarily a lot in between those times. And so when it was time to have that big meal of the day, you were hungry. And this took the edge off.
I bet that in the 50s it took off as entertaining became more common too.
And absolutely, you're absolutely right. In the 50s, the relish tray was king. And if for entertainment, or if you were going to have a big holiday dinner, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, you had a relish tray. We think of things now as, like, we say crudité, right, which is sort of the French idea of like raw vegetables, right, and dip, and we still enjoy that. A lot of people do. The Italians have what they call an antipasto, which is before the meal, right, and it's cheeses and olives and meats and things like that, and marinated stuff, really yummy. That is in itself a type of relish tray. And most of these relish trays, frankly, came from dime stores. Here in Michigan and in the Detroit area, we had Kresge's and we had Woolworths, and I think there were a couple of McCrory's, Neisner Brothers. These were all dime stores These were inexpensive pressed glass dishes.
And you know, down south, those cafeteria restaurants, like we had up here, not that many, but we had the Sign of the Beef Carver,
Yes.
or Sign of the Beef Eater.
Uh-huh.
They had a relish
They
a station.
Kind of, yes. Like before you could go, they had pickles and beets, usually in horseradish.
Right.
And you could have that before your dinner or with your dinner.
But those southern
That's right.
cafeterias, they kept that tradition going with relish stations, didn't they?
I think some of them did have relish stations. And so the idea now is you can have your own relish tray before your meal. We've come to a point where it's gotten to be sort of a tradition to have a salad before the meal. Well, it wasn't always like that. Salads weren't, salads like a lettuce salad or a mixed green salad were not as prominent as they are today. But the idea of having something before the dinner is a very old idea. And the relish tray falls into that realm. So look at these, Ralph. Again, most of these were dime store, inexpensive. These are just pressed glass. And it's always like, how many compartments do we want? Well, here's a 3. And look at this. It's even got like a little handle on it. This was such a popular design. This is called early American press cut. It was made by Anchor Hocking. They made this pattern for decades. It was very popular. Here's a fun 3 compartment, and then look at this. Now, who doesn't like milk glass, right? That's what you call this. It's glass, and this has sort of a gold tone trim around it, a 3 compartment. This one came with a fancy little, you had the relish tray, and then you had this fancy little metal holder and carrying thing.
Is that in case you put something warm in there, or
no? I think it was just to carry it to the table. It dressed it up a little bit, and then you've got some. Here's one with 5. Here's some. This is an old one. This is called. People often refer to this as depression glass. This colored. They made this in green. They made it in sort of a pink, sort of a blue, clear glass. And I just love the Look at that. Look at those stars. I just love the pattern. There's a 5 compartment. Look at this baby.
Ooh, leaves.
Okay. This is a 6 compartment, different sizes for different things. And then over here, Ral, you've got, now look at this relish tray. Beautiful green pressed glass. You've got a spot here for deviled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd put your deviled eggs here, and then you could have olives and pickles and
cut up celery or
vegetables and all kinds of other things. And then you've got some smaller ones. People would often use these not just for relishes, but for nuts.
Looks like a candy
or
dish.
Candy
almost.
dish, right? Mm-hmm. This is a 3 compartment. But there was a reason. Like here's a 4. There was a reason why you had this division, because a lot of what you were putting on here were things that were pickled or had some sort of marinade
or wet.
And you didn't want those things to blend together. You wanted to keep them separated. So things like olives, marinated artichokes, pickles, of course, beets, giardiniera, things like that. Here's another one, beautiful one, that has room for 8 deviled eggs, and then you have 4 compartments of relishes. Or to just put your deviled eggs on here and just leave them kind of plain, and then you could put little things on here, and people could dress up their own deviled eggs.
Ooh.
You could put chives. You could put little strips of smoked salmon, or other little things to really deluxe up your deviled eggs.
That's my kind of party.
Wouldn't that be fun? Why not have a deviled egg party? Here's another one. But these are just examples of a way that when we ate at home more, which we're doing now, by the way, which is why because so many restaurants are either limited seating or carry out only, or they're not even open. During this time that we're in, more people are eating at home, so why not a relish tray before dinner. I just think it's a wonderful idea, and I have, I've been buying them for years, examples of this great American-made glassware.
Is this just a smidgen of your collection, or is this it?
Well, there's more, but I just, the counter got filled, and I thought, okay, I think I've made my point.
Okay.
I like relish trays. And to further make the point, Ralph, I've done up a few here as examples of things that we could do. So, look at this.
Wow.
Now, you sit down at a dinner table, and someone brings this stuff out. Now, who wouldn't like this? Now, here's one I did. This is all veggies. Classic relish tray assortment. Celery, radishes, carrots. Another one would be a green onion, or some people call it a spring onion. You'll notice this is a 3-compartment. One compartment is very long, and it's really intended for celery or a green onion. A lot of times on the relish trays, people would make stuffed celery,
cream cheese,
pimento cheese, things like that. And then here's one. I've got some dill pickle spears here. You always sort of want to have a visual. We always eat with the eyes first, as we've said many times. Dill pickles, sweet gherkins, and some nice pimento olives, Spanish olives.
And you can get these cheap little plastic tongs.
Yeah, little
and
forks.
If you want people to use those, because sometimes we have art openings and things where I work, and if we don't put out the tongs or forget, people will let you know. They don't want to use their fingers.
No, they don't want to use their fingers, especially when, if it's all in the family, it's one thing.
And this was before the shutdown, too.
Yeah, or we would just have a fork. If I was serving this at the dinner table, I might have little forks or something that I would put in here. And
toothpicks.
Help themselves. Here's a nice 4-compartment relish tray. We've got pitted black olives.
We used to put those on our fingers.
Yeah. Bread and butter pickles. This is what we call a giardiniera, which is a wonderful
pickled mix.
Pickled mix of vegetables, cauliflower, carrots, peppers, and then some nice pickled beets. Love the beets.
And down south they have a thing called chow chow. That's like a certain type of a relish that's almost Indian, East Asian influenced.
Yes. And chow chow is almost, to me, a condiment.
Right.
You put it on things. These are things that we just eat.
Oh, I see the difference.
You know what I mean? In other words...
Chow chow's like a relish, and this is more like just an independent muncher.
Yeah, this is like an appetizer.
Got it.
Okay? So this you just eat and enjoy. A really nice way to serve the vegetables. And, of course, a lot of people like to have a dip with it and things like that. Of course, you can do that. Or you can mix it up. You could have the radishes, you could have pickles, you could have olives, and do an assortment. It doesn't have to be all pickled stuff. Be creative. And carrots. Now, there is a thing going around. Some people like the little baby carrots that you buy in the bag, right? And they're all small and ready to go. And they're fine, and they're carrots. But you know what? I like getting
the real thing.
Real full-size carrots, and it's more work. You got to peel them.
What's up, Doc?
You gotta peel them. You gotta cut them. But to me, they just taste way better. I don't know why.
Yeah, those baby
It's
carrots.
all in my head. Anyways, you can mix this up. And something, Ralph, you'll know this, that I like to use a relish tray for, is sometimes after dinner, I'll bring something like this out.
Little candy tray.
And if someone wants to ever tell you that grown-ups don't like candy, they're lying.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, we probably don't eat candy the way kids do, but you know what?
It keeps you young at heart.
At least my friends love candy. And I love candy. And I love taking old-time candy that we enjoyed as kids. I've got some orange slices, Boston baked beans,
Oh,
which
wow.
are candy covered peanuts, spice drops, and chocolate covered almonds.
Wow.
And it's nice to just talk about just an easy little dessert thing after dinner. You just bring a relish tray out with candy and put it in the middle of the table and let people help themselves.
Sometimes
and
before,
you will have friends.
and even before dinner, you could do that too if people
you could, yep.
want to just get their appetite going with some sweets.
So, you know what? We just wanted to say, you know what? We haven't forgotten about you, Relish Tray, and we think you're pretty awesome. And we want to return
Celebrate
you
you.
to the American dinner table and celebrate the good that you bring to our meals. So if you all have a relish tray tucked away, maybe your mom or your grandma had one and you have one of theirs, I'm going to tell you, you don't have to look far. If you are a rummage sailor or a thrifter, to find one in the stores for a couple of bucks, and certainly look online. There's, like I said, there's a billion of them online.
And they're not expensive.
They're
like you
not
said.
expensive. They're just they make them in. You can get them in silver and gold, and you could spend a lot of money probably on some. But they made millions of pressed glass relish trays in different shapes and sizes and styles, and they're all out there. So we're all going to enjoy our relish tray here. You know what? We hope that wherever you are safe, you're strong, and you're well. And we are going to look forward to seeing you again.
Stay positive and test negative.
I like that. And we'll see you again real soon, right here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye now.